Well, guys, another year that I'm not going to Supras in Vegas. Well, what's going on, guys? This is your boy Luis, and as always, thanks for tuning in to another episode. As the title says, yes, this is true, but before I begin to explain as to why I'm not going this year, let me show you guys some of the updates on the house. I know last video was showing you guys some of the updates of what I've got going on in my life, but you guys remember the whole roof and everything was tore up. There was holes everywhere. But that being said, there's still a lot to be done throughout the whole house. But just giving you guys a brief update from last video. But now let's talk about the car. Let's go. All right, so we got jack stands, all four corners. And something I noticed right away, you guys, my speedo wasn't working because this wasn't connected for some weird reason. I don't ever remember disconnecting this, but good to know that this was just disconnected, so my speedo should work after that. But anyways, gonna begin to remove the mount. I'm just gonna put a jack stand right here, hold the trans up, and then I'm gonna remove those 4 bolts and then take these off and then just replace. All right, got the mount off. Check this out. So this thing's not even on there at all. So good thing we came across that. This thing was vibrating kind of bad, so it's a good thing that I'm changing this. So just gonna take these 4 bolts off. They should come out and just put the new one on. All right, so here's the old one. That definitely was not working. New one should be a lot better. All right, guys, so we got the new mount on. Everything's taken care of. It is all mounted, so everything is good to go. A couple other things that I'm gonna address is a couple of those wires right there just kind of hanging loose, that I just kind of forgot to take care of. So I'm gonna go ahead and kind of zip tie some of this stuff out of the way so it's not hanging down and just kind of out of trouble. So all right, so stuff is out the way, not hanging down, out of harm's way. So the job down here is pretty much done. So another thing I'm going to address, as you guys can see down here, my oil cooler is just kind of hanging there. Last thing I want is have it fall through there, and yeah, that's bad news. So I gotta figure out some way to hard mount this so it kind of stays out the way and just stays flush. So the oil cooler has been mounted under the cover down here, so that's pretty much good to go. Like I have mentioned before, I got my wastegate dump here that I also gotta throw on. Another thing that I'm adjusting right now is, as you guys can see, my coils were always here, just kind of loose. I did make the valley cover plate. I did make that, and I also went ahead and ordered this tool here. It's basically a rivet nut tool. One thing to note is that my valley cover does hold my valve covers, or helps hold my valve covers down. So yeah, gonna go ahead and remove all those and get those mounted. Alright, so I got the valley cover off. Now I got a step drill here. I'm gonna be doing M6 rivets. So I'm gonna get this opened up just enough so this fits in here, and then I could go ahead and put that in there, crimp it on, and or rivet it on, and that should be good to go. And do that to all 6. There you have it, guys. I'm honestly amazed how fast that process was. It literally took like between like 6 to 10 minutes to do all of those. Already that looks 10 times better. Those are not going anywhere. There you have it. Those are hard mounted. These are not going anywhere. Yeah, buddy. Now it looks a little bit more professional. Little do people know your average Joe did it at home. Alright guys, so good news first. Actually, there's nothing wrong with the car. I'm gonna explain why it's up on jack stands right now. So that's the main thing, that there's nothing wrong with the car. I actually was driving it a few days ago. Alright guys, so about a few months ago, about 6 to 7 months ago to be exact, I started a new job. Unfortunately, October 7th is actually the grand opening for the facility in which I am working at. It's kind of important that I'm there. And not to beat around the bush, basically I had already everything set up for Supras in Vegas. I was going over the car, like I said, and I was getting ready to drive up there that weekend. And unfortunately, those 2 days landed on the same time, which freaking sucks, because it's been 3 years since I've driven the car, or actually taken the car to Supras in Vegas. So I was so excited to take the car finally up there, even though it's still not tuned, but it's very drivable. I've been driving it many weekends already, and it's been driving perfect. So I still wanted to take it untuned, just kind of like a base map for drivability. But yeah, I'm not gonna be able to go, guys. I wanted to see a lot of people. There's been a lot of people that have been asking me about the car that wanted to see it, and have been wanting to see it for a long time. It's just, long story short, I'm not gonna be able to go, guys, and it sucks. I apologize for people who wanted to see the car up there, but yeah, I don't know how else to say it. All right, so to explain to why the car is up, actually, which is actually something pretty scary, but nothing bad. I went to a car show last weekend, and my brakes were actually making a very funny noise. And as you can see the marks on the actual rotors right here. Crazy thing is that my brake pads were actually sticking out about this far out, halfway. What happened was, I don't know if it was my fault when I initially installed them, but I noticed that the brake pads were sticking out halfway out, and the retaining clips and the pins were actually gone. So that's very scary. I was just actually going over the car because I was planning on driving it to Supras in Vegas, and I was just kind of going over it, and I happened to come across this issue, which is very important. Kind of scary to think about that. Yeah, the brake pads were about to fall off. So I just actually went online and I ordered a new set of retaining clips and locking pins, and these are the correct ones. I'll go ahead and put the part number down below if anybody needs them for whatever the case. But I actually I'm gonna look back to the videos, because I don't know if I installed the retaining clips or if I just put the clips or the pins. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna have to take a look as to why this happened, because I do not want it to happen again. But either way, I got this stuff and I will be installing it. On a good note though, I've actually been going over the car just to kind of prep things for the pump gas tune and the flex fuel tune. There was a boost leak that I found. This coupler was actually loose. Another thing that I did on the meantime as well, as you guys can see down there, I actually finally installed my wastegate dump tube. So I was running without one. I was running without one, unfortunately, for a while. I wasn't going into boost or anything like that, so there was no way for that to kind of be dangerous, because I wasn't actually going into boost and the wastegate was never opening. I do have some of the stuff to kind of prep for, you know, some of the power stuff. But yeah, like I said, I will be running 2 quarts of MT90, of Redline MT90 on the bone stock R154. Yes, I know, bone stock R154. 2 quarts of MT90 and 1 quart of heavy shockproof, also from Redline. So I'm gonna actually be running this setup for the gear oil. And I need to buy new spark plugs. I will be using BKR7Es. It should be, those should be fine for the power level that I'm attempting to reach. Then that's just because I want to be able to enjoy it. I haven't enjoyed this car in so long. So yeah, some of the things that I've been prepping. And yes, by the way guys, I'm still running the max speeding rods coilovers, and they're still working amazing. I have actually these are the 16-way. I still have the 24-way adjustable ones, but I don't plan on installing them anytime soon because these are working just fine. But there you go guys, I've installed the new hardware. And these are actually painted by my boy, Angel. He's the one that painted the whole car. Sheesh. But yeah, so these are actually clear coated and everything. But alright guys, so one thing that I noticed was that my pins are not locking in place for whatever reason. And that's why these freaking pins slid out and fell. Now what I am gonna do is, since there's a free spot right here to bolt something on, I made this little kind of little template here, and I'm gonna go ahead and make this little locking plate so the pins won't back out. I don't know if any of you guys are having the same issue at all, but they're not locking in place. But I'm gonna do that for this side. I noticed the other side was one of the sides is starting to come out already, so yeah, I need to do this for sure, because last thing I want is for those pins to be backing out and falling off again. So I have this pretty thick plate here that I used for my valley cover, and I think I might use this same thing. Alright, so it's just a brief mock-up. Obviously I gotta clean the edges, but it's just an idea. Try to see what the heck I'm working with over here. So that's the idea right there. So I'm definitely gonna clean around here. The top is good. I'm gonna just clean right here. That should slide in further in, and then this bolt right here, make a hole, put a bolt, and it should be good to go. There you have it, finished product. I could give it a little paint, but I mean nobody's gonna see that anyways. But as you can see there, the pin is there, the pin is there. These will not back out at all unless this gets taken out. So I'm happy about this. Just a little bit a safety precaution. So yep. Alright guys, so I finished the other side and I decided to come check the driver's side. Made the little brackets. So these little things ain't going nowhere now. So feeling safe again, guys. That's what matters. So I'm just gonna put the wheel back on and should be good to go. All right, guys, she's back on the ground. Both sides are good to go. Tomorrow morning, I'm gonna take her out for breakfast and give her a proper test. Yeah, she's good to go, guys. And on that note, I apologize. This might be a sad update for some of you guys. I know it's a sad update for me that I will not be going to Supras in Vegas. Stay tuned, guys. Once again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in and just keeping up with these basic updates. Follow along on my Instagram, LFATV, for live stuff or stuff that I just randomly post. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching as always. And if you guys are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Until the next one, peace.